Isaiah Valdiabella. Today I'll be talking about Franklin Delano Roosevelt. FDR was one of the most important presidents in U.S. history. He served 4 terms, longer than any other U.S. president. He was born in Hyde Park, New York, January 30th, 1882. His parents were James and Sarah. As a young boy, teachers educated Franklin at home. When he was 14, Franklin attended Groton School in Groton, Massachusetts. After high school, he went to Harvard University. After he attended college, he went to law school. 1 year later, he married Anna Eleanor Roosevelt, which was his 5th cousin. President Theodore Roosevelt was her uncle. They had 6 children, but 1 died as a baby. They were Anna Eleanor, James, Elliot, Franklin Jr., and John. He started to figure that law school was boring, so Democratic leaders believed he could run a good campaign. In 1910, he ran for state senator of New York. He won by over 1,000 votes. As a state senator, he fought to give women the right to vote. In 1912, Roosevelt worked for Woodrow Wilson's campaign. Wilson named Roosevelt Assistant Secretary of the Navy. In 1914, Roosevelt tried to run for state senator but lost, so Roosevelt remained Assistant Secretary of the Navy. World War I had begun. The U.S. joined the war. Roosevelt made the Navy bigger and stronger. In 1920, Roosevelt ran as James N. Cox, his running mate. They ran against Warren J. Harding. Roosevelt and Cox lost the election. A year later, he became ill with polio. Polio is a type of paralysis. He went to Warm Springs, Georgia to heal his paralysis in warm mineral water. He formed the Georgia Warm Springs Foundation to help other people with polio. In 1928, Roosevelt ran for governor of New York. He easily won the election by 25,000 votes. In 1930, he was re-elected by 750,000 votes. It was the largest margin in state history. Americans were suffering during the Great Depression, so Roosevelt formed a program called the Temporary Emergency Relief Administration. After that, Roosevelt decided to run for president. His running mate was John Gardner. Roosevelt defeated Herbert Hoover with 472 electoral votes to Hoover's 59. At his inauguration, he said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," which was one of his famous quotes. During his first 3 months, many of his New Deal programs were created. The CCC also formed in his first 3 days. In 1936, Roosevelt was up for re-election. He defeated Alfred M. Landon. Roosevelt received 523 electoral votes, when Landon only received 8. In 1940, Democrats wanted Roosevelt to run again. No president has ever run over 2 terms. Roosevelt won the election against Wendell Willkie. His vice president was Henry A. Wallace. World War II had begun, and Germany had taken over much of Europe. Roosevelt worried the U.S. would soon be in danger. Since many Americans did not want to join the war, Roosevelt signed the Lend-Lease Act. The United States could help parts of Europe without officially joining the war. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. They sank ships and killed more than 2,000 Americans. The next day, Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war on Japan. Roosevelt was in poor health, but he believed he could be president again. He ran against Thomas E. Dewey. For the first time in U.S. history, a president was elected for the 4th time. He received 432 electoral votes, when Dewey received 99. In February 1945, he attended the Yalta Conference in Crimea, present-day Ukraine. On April 12, he complained of a terrible headache. A few hours later, he died. Everyone will remember him as one of the best presidents ever. Not everyone agreed with his ideas, but he was always seen as a much beloved leader.